Welcome back to Kevin Toll Reads, where today we have a book haul. I am very excited to share some of these books I got with you. It's not a huge haul, but I don't know when I'll be back. I do know when I'm going to be home for books because I have on the calendar a half price sale. So yeah, there'll be another book haul at the end of the month, so be on the lookout for that. But I do have some books I want to talk about. If you haven't seen my review of Shane, I picked up this for $1 at a used store this past about a week ago, and so I wanted to throw that in there. This was one of the books I hauled, but since then I've read it really quickly and reviewed it on the channel. Good Western, highly touted, enjoyable story, so definitely check it out. Can't pass that up for $1. I definitely will give this to my dad. I know he likes short Westerns, and so this is in his wheelhouse. Right now he's reading one of the Louis L'Amour collections of short stories. He texted me last night, hey, I finished a 19-page short story. That probably took him several days. He's not a fast reader, he just doesn't read a lot, but I've gotten him to read some Louis L'Amour over the last year, so it's been good. I picked up, speaking of Louis L'Amour, I picked up Bowdry. This is Tales of Chick Bowdry. I recently read some Chick Bowdry tales for Saturday Shorts, really enjoyed them, so I picked this up. And then I've been slowly over the course, so I picked it up, it was $1, by the way. I picked up these two Louis L'Amour collections, Volume 7, Frontier Stories, and Volume 6, Part 1, Crime Stories. And so I'm very interested in both of these. I know Caleb Welch, one of my subscribers, recently read all of this collection. And what's really neat besides that is I've had some other people tell me, like, hey, there's other Louis L'Amour stories out there and whatnot. And so I've been slowly trying to gather these collections of short stories, and I've got kind of a little tidbit I want to share with you. But I wanted to show you first. So I finally have all 9 volumes now of his short story collections that are put out by, this is Bantam. And so there's 7 volumes, but there's 9 total books because volumes 4 and 6 have part 1 and part 2. So each have 2 books, so there's 9 total. And I got a few of these at used stores, but the majority of them, I think 6 of the 9, I got at thrift books for they're between $4 or $5. And half of those I got using my free credit, as you get a free book when you spend so much. So it's been nice. I'm glad I have all these. Now, a lot of these short stories are in some of the other collections that are up there, which is what I was getting ready to say, is that one of my other subscribers, Stephen Everett 7, was asking about giving me recommendations now that I'm through with the Sackett series. Is like, hey, there's other books out there that are by Louis L'Amour that are interesting and he's heard of, that are in different genres and whatnot, which I've also heard. But what kind of dovetails into what Stephen was telling me is that I recently downloaded a list of all of Louis L'Amour's works, and so I was wanting to go through both standalones, books in series, and short story stuff and try to catalog what I have and what I don't have, because I also want to move what I have up here in this Western kind of shelf here. I want to move it to the shelf back here probably, and I'm probably going to unhaul some books up here. Yeah, I'm thinking that maybe the Scott Harvath series I might put to pasture. I might. Yeah, I might give those to free library. I don't know. I have so many series, so I'm trying to prioritize, some of the things. And there's just so many books I want to read. But so could be some rearranging, some unhauling going on. We will see. But what I'm trying to say, long-windedly, is that I'm going to slowly over the course of the next several months try to catalog all of Louis L'Amour that I have and see what I don't have. So over time, I can slowly acquire. Because I'd like to have a majority of his works because I'm really enjoying reading him. And he's almost becoming, a comfort read, and he's solidifying me staying in, the Western genre and enjoying it. So, and I'm obviously branching off in June on the Range to other authors, Zane Grey, Robert Parker, Gunsmith, Elmore Leonard. So I am getting out there. Ralph Compton is another one that I've got my eye on. There's some other ones as well. I know Tim at Secret Fire Books was liking some of the wilderness ones that were a little more hardcore, but sounded up my alley. So there's a whole plethora of Western writers out there, and as I watch some of you all's videos on BookTube, I'm learning more about some Westerns. So yeah, I'm very excited. So let's move on and talk about some other books. I picked up Mickey Spillane, The Body Lovers, and yeah, you can see that's a pretty provocative cover, but this is a Mike Hammer novel. I recently read book number 1, I, the Jury. It was okay. It wasn't as good as I was expecting it to be after reading a Mike Hammer short story that I really, really enjoyed. But I know I've heard that it gets better, and I like Spillane's writing style, so I'm definitely sticking with it. And this is, I think, book 10. And so in looking at my catalog, I think I have 14 or 15 of like the first 20. And so I've got a good base on getting all of those books. And then recently I picked up Andre Norton. Now, after I've picked up some other Andre Norton, I got a Doll one, and then which is Youth Burden. And then I got, this is one of the Witch World books. It's Sorceress of the Witch World. Now, this author is actually it was a female author, and her real name was Alice Mary Norton. She was from Cleveland, Ohio, but she wrote under different pen names, all of them male pen names, and I didn't know that until I looked her up, and she wrote under the name Andre Norton, Andrew North, and Alan Weston. But she's a prolific sci-fi and fantasy author. The Witch World series has several different books. This one's a standalone. I now have probably about 10 books by this author, or I'm going to call her because she was a female, and born in 1912, died in 2005. Yeah, pretty prolific career, and I've heard really good things, so I picked these up. These were $1. So was the Mickey Spillane. I got this off of Thrift Books. This is C.J. Cherry. This is Gate of Ivral, and this is part of a series, and I may be buddy reading this one, so be on the lookout for that. But this is a doll book. Very cool cover. So more to come about this series and possibly a buddy read, so be on the lookout for that. I got this. This was $2. And then I picked up, this was also $2. This is L. Sprague de Camp and Fletcher Pratt. This is the Complete Enchanter. And so this is a collection of novellas, but it is the complete novella. I think there's 5 of them here, but this is part of a series. L. Sprague de Camp is a author that I hear a lot from Tim at Secret Fire Books talk about. I think he enjoys him. And so really cool cover. It's an omnibus collection, so I picked it up. That was $2. And so a pretty good haul in general for a small haul, but I wanted to share that with you. Pretty excited about these. Obviously, Westerns, I've got some hard-boiled crime, some sci-fi and fantasy stuff, and yeah, I'm really excited about it. I probably will have a bigger haul at the end of the month, but I wanted to put this small haul out for you so you can check these out. And so, but that's the book haul. I hope you're doing well, and I will talk to you all in the next one. Why am I pointing again? Stick around because I'm going to have some outros. I'm going to have some bloopers, I'm afraid. So yeah, enjoy. Welcome back to Kevin's All Reads. Hope you're doing well. I feel like I'm not level. Like I want to slant. It's like that Seinfeld episode where George has the wallet and he's on a slant. Anyways, let's talk about books because this is a book haul. I have a small book haul for you. And good night. I have some bags under my eyes. I've been reading a lot. Not sleeping a lot, reading a lot. But anyways, here we are. Yeah, squirrel. Let's focus. What are we doing here? This is terrible. Oh my goodness. Welcome back to Kevin Toll Reads. Hope you're doing well. This is a book haul, and I don't know what I'm doing. Like, I'm a rookie. Welcome back to Kevin Toll Reads. Why do I always feel like I have to point? Do you ever get on as a viewer and be like, why does he always point at me? I mean, I would. I absolutely would.